Stephanie, how are you? Can you guys hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. Okay. Hi, Mr. Ben. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, good.
Well, look, I can tee this up, but I want Ben to do all the talking. I provided the materials that you gave us, Stephanie, and we used it to test our platform.
Okay.
And I want Ben to walk through it. But really, the purpose of this call is that we're in the process of raising capital for our fund. The capital is there. It's coming. It's just sort of a matter of when. Ben can obviously speak about this because this is his part of the deal here, but he's going to go be in a room with a bunch of wealthy folks that are ready. He's ready to get some letter of intent commitments to start our fund, but then also to allow us to start deploying capital. I fully believe, and so does Ben, that your startup is amazing and is exemplary of the quality of startups that will be the anchor to outside investors to the value of what's in Houston. So I'll let Ben. We can't promise funding, but there's a thing here where we want to use Univah as an example of 8 to 10 companies that we're going to show these investors. So I wanted to be able to test out the platform that Ben has that in the future will be very automated, but right now it's not going to be. Ben's built it and is controlling it. But then I think we should really honestly talk about next steps and what what Ben needs to kind of keep this going and moving forward. So Ben, why don't you go ahead and jump in? Stephanie, you've got some background noise. You may want to mute. I don't know. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kit. I really appreciate that. So when I got the information from Kit, I just went away and I just ran it through our system, through our platform. And it does what it does. Like it just creates, and it will just go through a very defined algorithm that I built based on my experience and work that I've done in VC. And that's exactly what we are thinking, and that's exactly what we are solving. I believe you have built a phenomenal piece of software and application. It has like a lot of opportunity and it has a big potential. But now the question is, does your material, basically your presentation, everything that you wanted to share with investors reflect that? I would say right now you're not ready to go in front of investors, because if you ask me, like when I look at it as from an investor lens, there are things that you need to put together in a very certain way, so you're ready to go in front of investors. And one of the things you're doing is we are helping you, we're teaching you what are those things and what we exactly want to see and how do we want those things to be put together. Then you will have that, and you will have that ready to get in front of, to become investment ready. And from an investment perspective, we have two different funds. One is local fund. I really didn't want to go after a local fund, but a local fund is coming after us. So people locally wanted to come and invest in our businesses. We're going to have our first startup showcase in September. So I want us to be ready. When we get to those showcase, I want us to be ready, because the same way we are presenting this to you, I'm presenting that to investors. And I'm traveling to Chicago. I'm showcasing our companies to family offices and limited partners that they expressed interest in our startups. But again, when we showcase it to them, they wanted to come to the system. They wanted to look at our startups. So it should be structured in a certain way.
So Ben, just to jump in, because I've not seen what the platform spit out on the other end. Stephanie's got a really badass company here.
Yeah,
I think you agree. So when you say ready for VC, it's not so much like her business needs to change or do anything. This is just documentation.
The presentation. I'm just saying the presentation. And I think, Kitric and I has had this conversation about when we are saying even the scoring system, the scoring doesn't score your business, doesn't score idea. It just scores the presentation for the VCs. So it doesn't mean that, it's a bad idea or good idea. It says this is ready to go in front of investors or not. Kind of like, at the stage that you are. I just wanted to make sure I'm clear, because sometimes people think, if they get high scores or low scores, it has something to do with idea. It has nothing to do with idea. It's just the things that the investors wanted to see.
Want to see.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we are clear on that. Do you have any questions, comments, Stephanie, about that?
Yes, I do.
What?
We need to be extremely specific so that I understand.
Yes,
When because I don't know how much you know about our company, and as of yet, this is our second conversation about our company, excluding when we met in person at the Ion. So I need to know what you mean by our presentation is not ready for an investor. What is lacking according to what you have seen?
Yes. So I prepared some stuff for you. So I want to show it to you. So then you will see how things are different when you look at it from an investor perspective and when you look at it from a startup perspective.
Okay.
And hopefully that is helpful, right? So let me share my screen and I will show you a few things, and then we look at our next steps. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Share with different platforms, different things.
I'm going to record. I want to see this here.
Yes. Let me go to. I go in the same way
This call is now being recorded.
Else, so I can see how we do it, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not.
Not yet.
Okay, I want to share my whole window. Okay. All right, can you guys see this screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what is it sharing? Is it sharing? No. Oh, I just put it here. I need to put it here. Okay, cool. Now you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, because the screen is here. I'm looking here. I just want to make sure. So this is like we call it in the VC, we call it a deal flow, right? And a deal flow starts with outreach. So people like scouting and analysts, everybody go to community and they start doing the outreach, or it's just a word of mouth, or people just submit application to different VCs, right? Most of the time when you submit application, you submit your pitch deck, and that's a part of the intake process, right? So when you submit your application, it's kind of like sometimes just a Google Docs, sometimes some of the VCs, they have more advanced systems, and some of them, they have the VC scorecard. So when you upload your pitch deck, the system goes through your pitch deck, it just read it, and it has some criteria that is going to it's going to score your pitch deck. Okay? So now, when we just do the scorecard, the whole thing about the VC scorecard is not about like is the idea is good or bad. It's kind of like just there are things that VCs wanted to see, and this is kind of like different things that they score. Let me drag this here and just let me know if you can now see the scorecard.
Yes.
Can you see this, Stephanie, too?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. So this is a VC scorecard, and based on the VC scorecard, when the VC ingest your pitch deck, they go through this, and a lot of time it's a very manual process. I have seen few VCs built it, automated that. Like, there are VCs that you can go, and right now they have this online. So, the first thing they look at the problem, the solution, right? And they weight each part of it. So we're saying 10% is the problem and the solution. So is the problem representative of a clear unmet need? Is the problem a serious pain? Is the problem, is this option, this is optimum solution? Is the solution as a vitamin or is it a painkiller? So is this something people are going to buy and pay for it, or is it just a painkiller? Are these good reasons the prior solution failed? So why the other solutions failed, right? So when you upload your deck, based on this information, they will look at your deck. So in your deck, you have your problem section in your deck. So you need to show, you need to answer these questions. And this is my, very high level scorecard. But when we look at this, then we go to a much deeper conversation, and then I will show you, and I have another document that I will show you. Then we look at the competitive, landscape. So basically, the first section says, is it a real problem? Is it a very painful problem that people wanted to build? And are there other solutions out there? And the second part answers the question of why we are better than others, right? Why we are going to be positioned as this solution that people are going to come to us, right? The question that you ask, if I build it, people will come, but why? So is there an unfair advantage for the company and the solution? So when you, if in your page you can show there is an unfair advantage, is the solution especially unique or novel? You have this novel solution. It's a very advanced technology that you can't really replicate. It's very hard to replicate, or you have a patent that is stopping other people. Is it protected or protectable? Can you get a patent? So is there a strong barriers to entry, right? So this is so complicated, so advanced that no one can really get it. And so is this a business adaptable to change in the competition, right? So let's say all of a sudden COVID just hit, and then all of a sudden Zoom became the biggest thing in the world, right? So can you pivot? Can you change the business? Is the business clearly differentiated? Is the target market structured in your favor? Is it fragmented? Is it centralized? Is it regulated? What is it, right? And is the solution ahead of the pack, but not too early to the market? So we are now saying, okay, this is the problem. This is a big problem. This is a big pain. And this is our solution, which is way more advanced others, and this is really hard to copy. We have partnerships in place. We have early adapters. People love it. It's very easy to use. So we are it's just everything is in our favor. Then we get to market size, and it's at 16%. If you look at it, why it's at 16%? Because market size is one of the most important things. So if you are raising, let's say, $5 million, and like if you're raising next series, you're just raising $20 million. If a VC wanted to get a return of 10x, they need to get at least 200 million. So the market is going to be even bigger than 200 million. So they get their return. And that's why they're saying, like, is the market for the problem, is the size of the specific market solve the problem big? Is the revenue is above 300 million? Why? Because, if your revenue is above 300, you are almost $1 billion, right? And you are a unicorn. And when you are $1 billion, even if the investor gets only, 20%, is almost $200 million. And if the company is aligned with the big picture, if a company would be like 10x current valuation. So market size is super, super important. So in your presentation, in your pitch, you need to show what is the real market size, which, like it's just a SAM, TAM, all this stuff, right? So now we're saying, hey, it's a huge market. We have this competitive advantage. And this is the vision. We're going to grow. We're going to get this market. We're going to exceed at like $3 billion. We're saying, okay, fine. How? Do you have the team? Do you have so team, business model, and execution? These three are showing that your company is able to execute, and your business model is designed to expand and scale. Because some business models, when you scale really big, the cost scales big. So your profit is like, as you grow, your profit just, decline. And now we're saying, like, does the founder have the experience as CEO? Does the founder say he's coachable? The founder understand the business? The founder deploy capital efficient? So, like all the questions that you are asking about the team and the business model. Like, is the business model clear and easy to understand? Is the pricing optimized? Is there a strong ROI to customers? Are margin healthy? The revenue is recurring, and it's just important, right? Because all the VC deals are based on ARR, annual recurring revenue. And is the strong sales efficiency is a clear path to profitability. So you wanted to show that, yes, we are not profitable now, but we need $5 million. In 2 years, we're going to break even. And after that, we're going to be profitable, right? So the next step is execution, which okay, so we have this team, and the team is able to execute and do the sales. So can we do sales? Do we have a product? Is the product roadmap realistic? Is the MVP oriented strategy used? The customer feedback being integrated? All the things that. So now we have the team and we have the execution power. Sometimes you have the team, but you don't have execution power at that scale. And then we get to the deal dynamics. So is the capital plan realistic? Like, someone come and say, I'm pre-seed and I need $10 million. That is not realistic. But if someone says, I'm building a spaceship and I need $10 million, then it's really realistic, right? Is who else invested? What amount of funding required? And this is why what we do become very important, because we become like the lead investor. And when they question, then we are going to answer the question and say, look, this is a defensible company. This is a defensible idea. We are investing, so you need to invest too. That's kind of like where you have a lead investor. And so the cash burn, the valuation, and all the VCs are looking at if the valuation is favorable for them. It's just a business, right? The term is favorable. Is the and then we get to other stuff is the company a strategic fit for the fund, right? We look at it strategically because I wanted to make sure we are building a strategic partnership. And then, can we provide relevant connections? So if we take you in, if you cannot really make relevant connections, strategic connections, if we cannot, launch you to the moon, we're not providing the value that we, as a VC firm, we need to provide. Any questions so far?
No, all of this sounds like questions that I've answered many times in my presentations. I think I just haven't sent them to you. But every single thing you've talked about, we've addressed.
Awesome. So after that, when we do, we go, this is the scorecard section, right? And then we create a screening, in the VC world, we created a screening document. So this is an example of a screening document that I wanted to show you. This is a real deal. So this document was created for a real deal. This is not made up. I just changed the name of the company and the URL.
So Ben, who consumes this document?
The VCs. It goes to investment committee.
Okay, so to investment committee of the VC.
Okay, and then this document, because this becomes this deck. So I just went through all of that because I want to show you this is a deck that a VC created, and this is what they wanted to see in a deck. And this is an internal VC deck. Every time I worked for a long time in the VC, for every deal, I was building the same thing that I was showing you. And do you have questions?
I know Stephanie might, but I want to frame this a little bit because we're also learning. We have our first 20 or so companies that we want to run through this process. In parallel, this process basically doesn't need to be completed for us to get our fund off the ground, but it will have to get completed before funding is decided upon. All of our founders are very different. Stephanie's got a ton of work completed already, ton of market data, ton of strategic thinking completed. She has all of her planning, how she wants to spend the money, how much money she's got a lot of stuff figured out that didn't translate when it was uploaded into the system. So I'm a little worried about, from a platform perspective, we need to do some beta testing.
Right.
Because when we met with Stephanie, we're excited. We're still excited. And when
it doesn't change our excitement, right? That doesn't change anything. I just wanted to present this. So basically, I wanted to show Stephanie what we are looking for. And I just wanted, and then, I'm going to bring up the deck and all this stuff. Because in my perspective, and, I just wanted to look at the deck. I'm saying deck and all the other information just probably is 20% of what Stephanie has done. But, this is kind of like the due diligence process, right? You're having conversations. And this is kind of like any VC, anybody do. You go back and forth and we have these different conversations.
But Ben, you're solving, or Red Ruby Capital solving a couple crucial things that are challenges currently in the startup ecosystem, which is why I'm excited about your vision. And Stephanie, I appreciate your patience for showing you how the sausage is getting made here. And we don't want any of this to negatively reflect on how we perceive your business at all. We have to sort of figure out how to close the gap on helping startups understand what the lens for VCs looks like and how to prepare for them while at the same time we're VCs, or Ben's a VC. So there's sort of that. The second part of this is, and when I had a startup that I was raising capital for, I went all the way to Series A, was the struggle of trying to get someone to be the lead investor. You would always get someone like, yeah, I got $1 million I can put in, but only after someone else puts in $1 million first. Because it shows someone else sees the vision also, or someone else buys in also. And what Ben has repeatedly told me is that we're prepared to be the lead investor in numerous investments because it can unlock more funding. So even if this fund puts $500,000 or $1 million into something, that doesn't mean 4, 5, 6 million can't be found elsewhere. is actually easier to attain because we are leading. So if we go through the difficult rigmarole up front, answering the way, again, because Ben's got the VC lens and he knows what VCs expect to see. And I should just say this. I know that it's weird because Ben's a VC and the investors and our fund, and it's kind of a little convoluted.
No, kid, let me explain something here. As a VC, I have it's not just me, like everybody in this fund, everybody in this ecosystem, we have this duty to our, because a fund has investors. So it's not like a fund doesn't have investors. So I have a duty to my investors to show them these are like good deals, and they wanted to see like what do we have, right? It's kind of like I have a duty to them to show them, and then the companies should. So me presenting and preparing companies actually is my favorite part of working, because I want to be able to go to anybody and raise even more fund and more fund and more fund, and I can defend the companies that I'm presenting, right? That's what I want to do. Like, I want to get Stephanie funded. That's what I want to do. I cannot promise anything, but I wanted to fund her like by mid of September, and look at like the trajectory. Like, this is how much money we can bring in at this time, and then we become the lead investor, and we are going to lead the way. So Stephanie can focus on building and working on the business. So that's the difference when you have a lead investor as your partner, then you're just doing everything yourself. So I'm hoping it makes sense.
Let's Stephanie, what do you think? Sorry, I did probably too much talking.
Yeah. We want to get your feedback, Stephanie.
Okay, so here's the good news. Every single thing that you just went over, I've already seen. I already know about all of this. Like I said, we have been doing this for 6 years, and I'm a highly researched person. So I have about 10 different pitch decks.
Okay.
The one that I sent to Kitric is the baby version. So think of that like, yeah, because in my experience, and this is part of the bottleneck between founders and getting investment.
Yep.
One of the bottlenecks that we face is people not wanting to take the time to look at all of the stuff that we have. And when you have someone like me that is extremely meticulous, and I have documentation for days. So, I mean, I document like crazy. Okay. So, I could have, before I met you guys, I was trying to pitch directly to Microsoft, just to give you like an idea of how ambitious I am. So I have a pitch deck that I made specifically for Microsoft. I have a pitch deck that I made specifically for Netflix. I have a different pitch deck that I made specifically for Apple computers. I have a pitch deck that I made specifically for Tyler Perry Studios. So like, this is how I'm thinking.
Okay.
So my pitch deck is different depending on who I'm sending. The one I sent to Kitric is the baby version, because I knew that he wasn't going to want to read what you showed me. A pitch deck typically does not, people typically want a 5 to 10 page pitch deck with pictures, short sentences. You cannot really go over the details of what you just covered in a typical pitch deck. People don't really want to take the time to read all that. But for the ones that do, for the investors that do want all of this information, I have all of this already prepared. If I show you my pitch deck for Microsoft, you're going to see all of these questions that you have, your scorecard, everything is already answered there. So that's number one. I have every single thing that you are looking for in that scorecard. I have already answered every single one of those questions. Now, my question for you is, how much do you know about our company? When you said we weren't ready, what is missing from what you have seen, which is basically the baby version cliff notes of our pitch deck? What do you need? Because everything that you are looking for, I have. I have the answer to every single one of those sections that you presented to me. Because as a founder, if I'm doing my job right, I have to know what investors are looking for. And so I already have all of that information. I know the market size. I know what the problem is. I know why the problem hasn't been solved. I know what our moat is. I know what our differentiators are. I know what it's going to be the replacement cost to replace us. I know who our competitors are. I know, and I already think of potential acquisitions who might want to acquire us. All of these things that the investors are looking for, I have the answer to.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I share? Let me share my screen again.
Yes.
And I wanted to. So can you see the deck?
Yes. Exactly. Yes. This is the baby version.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Ben, can I ask? Practically, are we asking Stephanie to just get us the big monster deck? And
if even Stephanie, if you can upgrade this one with the information, like if you can add like Sam, Tam, all this information, you can. I think that's a good idea. If you ask me, I really would love to see all of your decks. Okay. The one that you created for Microsoft, the one you created for Google, because I want to learn about this company because I'm passionate about it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see, because when I go to this is one, like this is one of the companies I'm really excited about because the technology is so good. Mm-hmm. You know, Stephanie, what you built is very hard to copy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm gonna really push and press. This is very hard to copy. Mm-hmm. This is a real problem. This is a big problem. Mm-hmm. You are talking about Universal Studio can use this. You're talking about, in my mind, you can build with this what James Cameron built, because if it's so lightweight and so real time, mm-hmm. when I put people in front of green screen, mm-hmm. I can see exactly in real time what they're doing. Like James Cameron, this is what he built, right? Mm-hmm. That's why he's so advanced, because he can go and look at it. Other people don't have it. Mm-hmm. So you are bringing an advanced technology in customers' hand,
right?
Which it doesn't happen so often.
Yeah,
it's just like you're bringing a space technology in day-to-day life.
Yeah,
that's kind of like, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I want you to showcase. That's why I'm so passionate about it. So if you can send me all of that, and then what I will do, I will just run them one by one, mm-hmm. because unlike anyone else, I read all the decks. Because I just wanted to, either we are telling you we are passionate about this project or we're not. Like with us, it's not about, Stephanie, it's a good thing. You just send us the deck and we just say, hey, it's a good idea, but it doesn't fit. We wanted to get this to where it could go. That's why I told you need to update that with the hockey stick, because I believe that we can get there. So if you can send me everything that you have, so I can, and maybe I can put a deck together for just example. I can show you like how it works, and then just send everything that you have, and we go from there.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, so this is exactly what I wanted to hear. I'm really happy, and I feel a lot more confident about Noble Founder and Red Ruby. Okay, because
absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times, even when I was in the music industry, you've got people that claim they're going to listen to your demo, you put together a demo. They don't even listen to it. So
no, I just look at this. I watch your video. I watch your YouTube. Last time I was just paying attention, because I exactly know what you build.
Mm-hmm.
This is my I'm very passionate about production video. I'm following even my boys, they are so into it. We are like big movie innovation creation. I'm a musician myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I fully understand what you build. And I have a good idea about, there's a gentleman, he's a producer. He's using AI, other AIs, and he wants us to help him. He can be your customer tomorrow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When I talked to him, I had you in my mind, because this is how now I'm involved with your company. He's just we are invested.
Okay, so here's what I would like. Now that I know for sure, because that's why I wasn't gonna send Kitric a whole bunch of information, just because I've done this before. People ask me for stuff, I send it, they don't even read it. So I was like, I'm not even gonna do that until I get a clear example until I see some proof that you're the kind of person that actually is going to do the due diligence and look at what I show. So the good news is that everything you need, I already have.
Okay, cool.
So that's going to drastically accelerate the process. I'm going to send you the pitch decks for Microsoft and what I made for Tyler Perry and Netflix. They're similar, and also what I made for Apple. They're similar in terms of, because again, the software solves the same problem. It's just that the angle for which, so for instance, when I was trying to pitch Microsoft, I was pitching them in the area of, let's make Univah the standard 3D app for all Windows PCs. So that was what I was trying to do. I wanted Univah Pro to come pre-installed in to come bundled with the Microsoft OS. And so if you remember, Apple used to do this really cool thing where if you bought like a MacBook, it came with GarageBand and it came with iMovie. I thought that was really cool because it attracted a lot of creators, a lot of creative people to buy the Apple product. But Windows never did that. They never had like a really cool, amazing software, something like on the caliber of Univah. And so because Univah is so lightweight, it's an incredibly powerful 3D software and it's under 1 gig. So yeah, it's under 1 gig. So with that, I was like, this would be really cool if it came bundled with Microsoft OS. So just like you have Microsoft, you have those little apps like the calculator, the Photos app, and then Microsoft Paint. You could have now Univah there, and Univah Lite comes with all all Windows computers, and then you can of course upgrade to Pro. So that was what I was trying to pitch to Microsoft, but I don't have the ins with Microsoft, so that never went far. But I did create the deck just in case if I ever meet someone from Microsoft, I could pitch that, and then Univah could come bundled with every Windows PC, which would be huge. So I have that pitch deck. And in that, I went into detail because I know if someone from Microsoft was interested, they would actually care about reading all the data. They would want to know the market size. So all of that data is there on that pitch deck. And then the one for Netflix was about basically, since Netflix has something called Originals, I was thinking about licensing our tech to Netflix, and they could use our software to create animations for Netflix Originals. And I felt like, hey, maybe this would be something that Netflix would like to own if Netflix wanted to own their own film engine. And then for Tyler Perry Studios, well, he's got this gigantic studio, but there's no animation side. He doesn't yet have an animation side to his studio. So I thought if I had a connection with Tyler Perry, I could pitch this to him and he would maybe want to own a film engine and then create an animation section in his studio. So that was what I was hitting all these different areas. So I'm going to send you, here's what I have, Ben. I'm going to send you these detailed pitch decks that I have. I'm going to also send you our projections because I've already done the projections. I've done the calculations for how many users minimum we need to hit 1.2 million ARR. And so I have a 4-tier projection documentation that shows where we are at 2,000 users, where we are at 10,000 users, where we are at 50,000 users, and 1 million users. And then I also have in that documentation exactly how much the investor gets for each tier, how much they're, so they're getting 10 times return on investment and so on. I also have our profit margins. So I have our profit margins. I also have the documentation that shows exactly how much we're earning based on what we sell. So as you know, Univah Lite sells for $27 a month. It's monthly. Univah Pro is for $77, and those are introductory early bird prices. So right now, those are 65% off prices. So if we remove the 65% off, I already have the documentation that shows you how much you're going to be earning if we were to keep the cheap prices versus if you were to remove that 65% off, how much will we be earning? So I have all of that math already done for you. So I'm going to send you that documentation as well. I have also our documentation that shows exactly how we plan to allocate the funding. So I have that documentation that highlights every single, like what we're doing with $10,000, what we're going to do with $20,000, where it's going to go, the team that we need to hire, how many we need. I've also done the projections to calculate as we scale, our operational costs will scale. And in what area will it scale? Will it scale in how many staff we may need if we have 2 million users versus just 10,000 users? So I've already done all the calculations for as we grow, how we are going to scale our cost. And then I've already calculated the cost of scaling into the profit margins. So all the profit margins, everything stays above 95% profit margin, even as we scale and our operation costs increase. So I have all of this documentation already, but I wasn't trying to bombard you because I wasn't sure if you were even going to read it.
No. I'm if I'm in something, I'm in. It's kind of like it sounds good because I got to go to another meeting. But so Kitric,
please CC me on it, Stephanie, because I've got to create a one-page slide that talks about how awesome you are, and then I'll send it to you so you can see what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've got to create like an appendix of like 8 companies, a slide per company.
Okay.
For Ben before he goes to Chicago. Ben, one last word on the likelihood of us being able to find funding for Stephanie. How are you feeling about it?
Stephanie is one of the companies I'm hoping to get funding by middle of September, max the end of September, either locally or from the fund that we're getting from the investors outside of Houston. So this is one of my...
That's money into Red Ruby Capital.
Red Ruby, right.
That goes into Red Ruby. And then it's making sure Stephanie's ready to receive funds, because we've not talked about how much or deal structure yet.
No.
But there is a high likelihood that by nature, he's a classically trained electrical engineer, but he's a VC that's an engineer. He's an engineer that's a VC. So we have this beautiful thing where he can look at your technology and see the magic. And he sees it. And he's got the network. I was in meetings today with him. We've got an inordinate amount of people that are looking for opportunities to invest in. So there's sort of like 2 things that have to happen at the same time. I have to have this equivalent call with like 8 companies by the end of next week, right? And then I've got to build a deck. And then he's going to Chicago. I don't have to go to Chicago for this one, but I'll probably have to go to the future one. But like I've got a medical device company that's in the same position you are, like ready for funding, like just straight up ready. So I'm holding Ben accountable. Like, dude, what do you mean? Like, are you like what is the true next step here? And I think we've gotten there. I've got questions about the platform that's doing the scoring. Because there's a future vision where a founder could go online to a URL and put in their data and score. And I do not feel confident that customer experience or that user experience is nurturing, enabling, positive, and optimistic. Like the things that it needs to be. Yeah. And you're a great test case. And I'm sorry that you had to be the test case, but
that's okay.
You're better than better than the company. Sorry, you're great, but your company is better then the documents that I put into the system, I sent them to Ben, but that he put in.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh crap. So now he's thinking like, hey, based on this, because I met with him downtown before this, which was like, maybe we need a preliminary step where we show everyone what we need.
Yes.
Specifically, then put it in. But the idea here is to cast a broad radar, like a broad net,
mm-hmm.
to be helpful to startups. Like, from the mind of a VC or a lens of a VC, find out what they think about what you're doing.
Right.
There's no one saying you got to take the money, but it's interesting because we're all, everyone's got a startup they're building, they're passionate about. Wouldn't it be great to get that perspective?
Absolutely.
But you don't get punched in the mouth. Like, that's not right out loud. So, anyhow, I appreciate you going on this journey with us, mm-hmm. Stephanie. Sounds like we've got a nice fast track, and we've got investors dying for our deal flow because he knows how to speak to them. And I'm gonna help you with your branding and your marketing as part of this. Once money flows, you'll have access to marketing and other sources and everything else. So,
wow.
And in my network, of course, and everyone else, and I may talk to you about Tyler Perry because I've got a documentary that we're going to fund.
Okay.
I may have told you about a Cameroonian guy that I've met that I'm in love with this man. He's the future president of Cameroon. And he's got an amazing story that needs to be told. And I've got folks in the film industry, like I've told you before, and his pitch is he's gonna have a slide in the deck as well, showing that this is the breadth of the amazing things that can be funded in Houston. This is happening.
So, Kit, are you aware that you now have 2 Cameroonians?
Are you Cameroonian?
I'm from Cameroon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you now have 2 Cameroonians.
I thought you might be Nigerian, but I didn't want to be presumptuous.
No, yeah, I'm from Cameroon.
I love the synergy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You will love meeting Roland. What? Tell me real quickly. Do you have a bunch of family here? Are you here alone?
No. I came here in 1999, and no, I don't have any family. It's just me and my daughter. Yeah.
How old's your daughter?
My daughter, she's turning 9 this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a 4-year-old, 8-year-old, and 17-year-old daughter. I may have told you before.
Yes.
I'm proud of them. They're all wonderful. I am so lucky to have met you originally. I want to help. And when I met Ben originally, he's like, I want to bring money into this ecosystem. The whole point
mm-hmm.
is to get these startups funded. You guys have worked so hard. I've got in the suite of companies that we're going to get funded initially, I've got health tech, property tech. I'm calling it humanity tech, which is the Cameroon story.
Mm-hmm.
I've got oil and gas, a really cool oil and gas product. But it's a really good broad swath of amazing, diverse opportunities.
Right. That,
again, is the whole point. That money is not coming from people like someone like you. Someone like your company. Raising money in Houston is an impossible thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
Yes,
and by the way, there's so many rich people in Houston.
Yes.
And they're just not used to investing in something that's uncomfortable for them.
True.
So because Ben's a VC, he can bring that comfort. And then me and my network and whatever we can do to de-risk these companies and help set them up for success, it's a winning combo. And then I'm going to pick up and take this to multiple cities.
Okay.
I'll probably, I think I'm moving to Atlanta next spring, but I'll be coming back and forth to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to set this up in Atlanta as well, because there's Georgia Tech and all the technology coming out of there.
Okay.
So it's exciting. I'm excited. He's got people earmarked to be putting money in. So
okay.
Let's just hope. Let's keep going, okay?
Absolutely. Kit, thank you so, so much. I want to do everything I can to be as helpful to you guys as possible. So let me get everything sent to, I'm sending everything today to you and Mr. Ben. And then please let me know if I missed anything. But I'm going to go over everything. Like I said, I already have everything that you need.
I recorded the meeting,
Okay.
so it may be good. I'll forward it to you. It may be good to go back to when he's looking at the line items.
Yes. Oh, I screenshotted it. I screenshotted that.
I thought I heard a screenshot. I'm a pro at that myself. So then you have it. I won't worry about it.
Okay. Perfect.
But if you need it, let me know. Just ping me, okay?
Alrighty, I will. Any questions for me before we go?
No, just have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Kit. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.